Hello and welcome to this last part of the Process Mining Hack series. So as usual, a short agenda. I will first provide you a short review of part 1 and 2 in case you missed it. Then we will have a look at a specific problem related to a flow analysis with process mining, and then we close with a summary. So let's start with the short review. So what did we do in the first part? Well, we had a look at a one-click process mining analysis. Yeah, that's what you find when you open Power Automate Flows and then click on this button. Then you get a fully fledged process mining analysis of your specific flow. Yeah? And in the first part, we had a look at how can we automate this thing so that users are not required to press this button all the time. Second part was about hey, what if we have multiple flows? Yeah, and for that we had a look at a solution that is available in Microsoft Learn, so you can download this for invoice processing. The specific features of this solution were that invoices were recorded and that 3 different Power Automate flows were involved. Yeah, and then the question was, hey, how can we analyze all of these 3 different Power Automate flows together in one single process mining analysis? And that's what we checked out in the second part. So if you missed it, just have a look. And today we will have a look at a similar example, but this time related to an ERP system. And what I want to show you next is basically a purchase order process in Dynamics 365 Finance Operations, because that's the system that I have available. And we start with the confirmation of a purchase order. Yeah, that's this process. Yeah, I just confirm it. Then I post the product receipt, and finally I post the invoice. And behind each step is a Power Automate flow that is triggered by a business event. And my aim is, of course, analyze these 3 Power Automate flows together. And how that works, this will be part of my demo. So let's check it out. Okay, I'm starting here in my demo environment in Dynamics 365. The ERP system. And what I want to do is, of course, I want to create a new purchase order. So let's do this together. I just create one with a demo vendor, specify the warehouse here. And then first thing is I select an item. And because everybody needs coffee, so I have here coffee that we order. And then the process starts here with the confirmation. Yeah, I know there are different ways how you can do that and how you can trigger flows, but I just use a very simple one, a confirmation. And this confirmation triggers a business event behind the scenes. And as a result, another user has to confirm it. So we have here purchase order 5303. Now I changed my session, go to my other user, and you see, okay, he has to approve something. So it's approved, finished, and then the first process step is complete. Yeah. Also, this is just simplified, so yeah, of course, can be more complex. Then next step would be to receive the goods, to receive the coffee, which is of course important. Then let's say we put here our receipt and post it to make it available in our warehouse. And finally, the last step would then be to post the invoice. Yeah, so let's also do that. And there's nothing special here. There's no matching whatsoever. I disabled everything so that we can directly enter invoices and post them. Yeah, and behind each of the clicks, yeah, there is a Power Automate flow. So let's wait this to finish. The flows, I open it here. Yeah, and what is behind is basically they all start with a business event that is triggered, and then I hold the purchase order number because I need this number to combine the different flows, of course. That's my common denominator, so to say. Then I have here an email, and then depending on this thing, I have just some compose actions. So actually I'm doing nothing. The same happens here with the purchase order receipt, and finally we have here a flow that is triggered when the invoice is posted. So that I have a start with the purchase order confirmation and then an end with the invoice posting. And now with this information, I can come and start my analysis. And the analysis that I start is done in a similar way as I showed you in the previous post. So I have here a flow. Let's run it. It should not take long. And this flow basically catches the flow runs that we triggered before. Yeah, so it goes into the different flows, uses this API that I showed you in the previous post, and then updates files that I have here on OneDrive. Yeah, you can have it on SharePoint, wherever you want. Yeah? The important thing is that these files are updated. Yeah? So let's see if this one runs. Yeah, it succeeded. So now we have the latest flow run data here. And now the next step would be to prepare this data, and the prepared data should then become available in a Power Automate table. How I'm doing that? Well, of course, with a data flow. Yeah? The data flow is this one here. Setup is similar to what I showed you in the previous part. Yeah? So nothing special here, except that I'm using now purchase orders from an ERP system. Yeah? And of course, I do not want to automatically or manually, let's say manually, refresh this, yeah, in a way that I have to click here or do something. So what did I do to make sure that there's an automatic refresh of my data, and at the same time that there's no double counting? I created a Power Automate flow, yeah, also similar to what I used in the previous post. So let's run it quickly, and then I give you an idea how it works. So basically, if we go into the edit section, what this flow is doing, it cleans first the old data from the previous runs, and then it triggers this data flow so that we get the latest flow run data included in our Dataverse table. Yeah? Should not take too long to complete. Yeah? And once this thing is complete, we have everything ready to run our process mining analysis. Yeah? Because this might take a couple of seconds, let me pause the video and then come back once it's finished. Okay, so now the last flow is also complete, which means that we have the latest flow run data here in this table that is automatically filled by our data flow that is triggered by the Power Automate flow. And now with this information, we can come here into our process mining analysis. Yeah? We can grab the data from our Power Automate flow that filled the Dataverse table. And of course, I actually do not want to do this manually. Yeah. So actually, what I will do now is I will set up the refresh settings. So let's say every morning we refresh this result. Let's say 6:30. Not too early. Yeah. And then once you have configured this automatic refresh, then every morning, in our case 6:30, this report will be updated and you will see the latest results. Yeah? So there's nothing you need to do to get an overview of the combined process, starting from the confirmation of the purchase order until the final invoice posting. And yeah, as a finance manager or a treasurer or somebody in this area, you can really make use of this functionality. Oops, now let's close it. So my current report looks like this. Yeah. So it has currently 9 cases. If I refresh it, we should see 10. Yeah. It will take a while. It will take a couple of minutes. And while waiting, let me show you the previous runs, what we have available in the desktop app. Because if you want to dive deeper, you can use the same functionality, yeah, and then take a deeper look in the Power Automate Process Mining app. Yeah. So here is my flow, basically, or yeah, process mining analysis that I want to analyze. And of course, what you get is the same picture, but you have additional functionalities here on the right hand side to see, hey, what is the longest running element? Well, it's of course the one that sends the email as expected, yeah, but then you can see what happens and when. Yeah. What is also interesting is this process animation. It's just, I just use it for playing so that you see what happens. Typically, if I do not make a test, it should start on top and then go through from top to bottom so that you can see how the processes are going through. But remember that not every process might be completely finished. So for some purchase orders, the invoice might not be posted, or the product receipt. Then the question is, how can I find this? And the answer is here in the variants. So if I click on these ones, you see, hey, here is something, variant number 5, that is not completed. And if you look at the case table, you can see the case ID, which is my purchase order ID. Or you see here in case 7, also the last steps are kind of missing, meaning that the invoice is probably not posted. So let's check out this one. This one is purchase order 5,300. So let us double check that. So let me go back to my, what is it? I go here to my ERP. And by the way, you see that the number of cases increased. So here, if we go to number 5,300, then we should hopefully find it and see that not everything is posted. So it is this number. I'm just too quick somehow. Let's try again and scroll towards the bottom. So 5,300 is this one here, and you see it's just received. The invoice is missing, as expected. And that's the cool thing, that you can find this out by using the standard tools that we have available in Process Mining. Okay, that's all what I wanted to share with you for today. Thanks for watching this. And now let's go back to the PowerPoint to close this post. Okay, so after this demo, let's make a short summary of what we saw in this and the previous past. And I tried to generate everything in a single sentence. So what I showed you is that you can fully automate your Power Automate flow analysis with out-of-the-box tools that we have. And it doesn't matter if you have one single Power Automate flow or multiple ones, you can combine them and analyze them together if you want. So there's a lot of magic going on here, and you can do the same, just need to configure it in maybe a similar way as I showed you in this and the previous parts. Okay, that's all what I wanted to share with you today. So thanks for watching and listening in this part, and hopefully also the previous ones. As usual, if you have questions, send me an email or leave a comment on my website or also on my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot, and then till next time.